Hello everyone, this is your physics teacher Sharma and I welcome you all back to my class again. Hope you all had a very good vacation and now we are back again into our classes, resuming with new energy and new topic as well. So today's topic is some natural phenomena. In your previous classes, that means when you were in your lower standards, you have learnt about some natural phenomena like floods. Okay. Now today we are going to discuss about two new natural phenomena. Okay. That is lightning and earthquake. First of all, what is a natural phenomenon? See, not everything is controlled by human beings. Okay. Few things are happening only by nature. Okay. Like if we speak about like heavy floods, that is not something which can be controlled by us. It is because of the rain. At some point there will be a very heavy rain and that water need to drain out, and if the infrastructure is not proper, that water would be gushing into the cities and villages, destroying everything in its way. So that is a natural phenomenon. Similarly, lightning is a natural phenomenon. Earthquake is a natural process. It is not man-made. Okay, so any process which is occurring because of the natural consequences of different processes is called natural phenomenon. Okay, now let us talk about lightning. Lightning is something which is really fierce to see. It's very fierce and it really scares someone. Okay, that too the lightning that occurs during a rainy season, night time, the flash of light would be really very scary. Now, why is that happening? In the olden days, we had a belief that this lightning is because of the anger of God. Okay, that is what was believed earlier. So, if we see a lightning, people used to get scared and they used to think that it is gods who are very angry, and those anger of gods is coming to us in form of lightning. Now later it is understood that it is actually a process that is happening because of exchange of charge between two clouds. Yes, clouds not only carry moisture, humidity and water in simple, they also carry a little amount of, not little actually, a huge amount of charge. When there are two clouds which are carrying opposite charges getting close to each other, when they come close to each other, they immediately produce lightning. Okay, there will be an exchange of charge which is seen in form of lightning. So we understood that this lightning not only occurs in the entire nature at a huge level between clouds and the surface of the earth, it actually occurs anywhere around us where there is accumulation of charge. For example, you might have seen that at the electric pole where the wires are joined, okay, there you can sometimes we will be able to see a spark coming whenever the wires are loose. Sometimes we also see the spark when we are trying to plug in something, okay, and the socket is loose. Okay, these are common experiences. We feel, we can hear the crackling sound and we actually see the sparkle of light. Okay, so this is nothing but again exchange of charge. When we are bringing a conducting material close to a charged particle or a charged terminal, we can see that lightning coming. Okay, so we are now clear with the concept that whenever there is an exchange of charge, there we see lightning. Now what is this quantity called charge? Okay, every body will have the capacity, like most of the bodies will have the capacity to accumulate charge over them. Okay, and there are two different types of charges. How do we know there are two different types of charges? First of all, what can this charge actually do? To know that, there is one activity which you can do by yourself. If you take a balloon, blow air into it, then rub it against your hair. When you rub a balloon against your hair, you will see that it can attract small pieces of paper. So what actually is happening? This balloon which is rubbed against the hair actually accumulated some amount of charge, and that charge is capable of picking up papers. So we have an example for what charge can do. Now if you take a straw or a refill, okay, you rub that against a polythene cover. Polythene is something which is very easily available in our houses. So you take a used pen refill, okay, and that refill you will rub it against the polythene sheet. When you do that, you will see that this refill will be able to pick up small pieces of paper again. So again it's the same thing, whether it is a balloon made up of rubber or this pen refill which is made up of a kind of plastic. They are doing the same thing. They are actually gaining some amount of charge, with help of which they are actually able to pick up things. Okay. Now, is it that we have the same type of charges? We now understand that yes, both are doing the same thing. Now, is it that because they are doing the same thing, we say they both are same or alike? To know that, there is one activity. Again, take 2 rubber balloons and 2 refills. Now what you do, you blow the first balloon with air and so to the second balloon. Okay, take these 2 rubber balloons, rub them against your hair, okay, and tie them, suspend them by means of 2 different threads. When you try to bring these 2 balloons close to each other, what will you notice? We notice that these balloons, after coming to a certain distance, they don't intend to come any closer. They want to move away from each other. They will try to move away from each other. Okay, that means they repel from each other. Okay, repelling means moving away from each other. So when 2 balloons which are rubbed against the hair, dry hair, okay, when they are brought close to each other, they don't come close to each other, they try to move away from each other, they repel each other. Okay, now we will do one thing. We will take 2 refills. Those 2 refills, we will rub them against 2 different polythene sheets separately, and then we try to bring them close to each other. Now, what is more likely to happen? We see that in this case also, this refill and the other refill, they actually repel each other, they move away from each other. Okay, now let us try something different. Okay, we take a refill, rub it against the polythene sheet as we did earlier, put it in a glass tumbler or a plastic tumbler. Okay, take a balloon, rub it against your hair. Okay, now try to bring this balloon close to the refill. Now what do you notice? When it is a balloon when a charged balloon brought close to another charged balloon, we have seen that these 2 are repelling. When a charged refill is brought close to another charged refill, we have seen these 2 are repelling. Now, when it is a charged balloon brought close to a charged refill, we notice that these 2 actually attract each other. They move towards each other. If they are moving towards each other, we say they are attracting. Okay, so from this we understand that if we are bringing 2 charged particles which are actually charged by the same method, 2 objects of the same kind are charged by the same method, then we are seeing that they are repelling each other. On the other hand, when there are 2 different materials, okay, like balloon and refill in this case, they are attracting each other. From this, we can draw the conclusion that there are 2 different types of charges, okay, which are positive and negative, which you will be learning in your higher classes in detail. Okay, so what have we learned so far? we have learned that there are two different types of charges. One is positive charge, the other one is negative charge. We have learned that objects are attaining this charge when they are rubbed against another surface. Okay, now I also said that we notice this very often, very regularly. So let us look into a situation wherein we actually notice it every day. We brush our hair with a comb, don't we? We brush our hair with a comb regularly, and when we do that, we actually hear a crackling sound. Most of us think that yes, it is the hair falling sound, but when you brush your hair and look at the comb, you don't see any hair falling, but you can still hear the crackling sound. This crackling sound is because of the electrostatic force. That means the charge which is produced or exchange of charge between the comb and your hair. There is another example which you can notice. If you are having an old model television which comes with a cathode ray tube, a glass screen which is having a very big part and tube ending towards very back height. Okay, so that television, as soon as you switch it on, you can actually hear the sound. And also after you switch it off, once you switch it off, when you try to touch the screen, you can feel the crackling sound again. That is because there is a huge amount of charge that is accumulated around the screen of the television. Now when you try to take your shirt or your dress off, which is made up of polyester, then also you can hear the crackling sound and you notice that the hair stands on its end. Okay, so this is yet another observation which we make regularly, which is related to this lightning. And yes, if you are lucky enough and you are trying to change your dress in a dark room, you might even see the sparkle. Okay, you can also see a very faint spark when you are trying to take a polyester cloth off your hand. Okay, so as I always keep saying, science is nothing but observation of things which are around us and studying them patiently and in detail. So see, we are surrounded by science. Everything we spoke about now is not any kind of rocket science, only daily observations, but that is having something to learn. So that is all for today's class. We'll be learning more in the next class. Until then, have a nice time. Bye bye.